All right. Shalom, family. It's your brother Kanaiba coming at you once again with part 3 of this video series called Bacchus, Bacchanalian Rites, White Parties on the Left-Hand Side, ? And, of course, hopefully, this will be the last part. Okay, but yeah, I think we'll be wrapping it up in part 3 here. Okay, so what we're gonna do, okay, we're not gonna waste any time. We're gonna pick back up where we left off at in part 2. Okay, so without further ado, let's get part 3 started. Okay, so going back to the encyclopedia dealing with the Bacchanalia. Okay, I'm going to start back in the middle of the paragraph where it talks about the young girls. Okay, and it reads, it says, young girls and youths were seduced, and all modesty was set aside. Every kind of vice found here its full satisfaction. But crimes did not remain confined to these meetings, for false witnesses, forgeries, false wills, and denunciations proceeded from this focus of crime. Did you hear everything that was mentioned? It sounds a lot like Diddy's case. Does it not? Now, look very, very closely to what we're about to read. Poison and assassination were carried on under the cover of the society, and the voices of those who had been fraudulently drawn into these orgies and would cry out against the shameless practices were drowned by the shouts of the bacchantes and the deafening sounds of drums and cymbals. So when notice it said poison and assassinations were carried out, and the people who became a part of these orgies and these bacchanalian practices, if they tried to speak against it, they were silenced. They were silenced by those who participate in the Bacchanalia. So we're seeing everything we just read. We're seeing it real time right now, dealing with Diddy. There's a lot of people who's now speaking out against what they went through with these white parties. And a lot of them are trying to be silenced, or they're just now speaking out because before they were silenced. But now they're getting the courage to actually speak out even more. This is almost identical. Okay? Then especially the part it talks about poison and assassinations. You do realize that it's been speculated that Diddy's late ex-wife, Kim Porter, the reason she got the pneumonia at 47 is because it's been alleged that Diddy poisoned her. Okay? And that's not the only case he's been accused of poisoning somebody. Here lately, it's come out that he could have poisoned Jamie Foxx. That's surfacing right now. Okay, but what I want to do now is I want to look at an interview that the brother Big Homie CC, an interview that he did. Now, Big Homie CC, he is a Hollywood or a celebrity bodyguard. Okay, and he did this particular interview, and we're going to listen to what he said happened to him. Okay, let's listen up.
What are some of the things that you heard behind the scenes that were going on before this indictment actually dropped?
Well, I know he poisoned Jamie Foxx, and Jamie Foxx reported him to the FBI because of it. I know that's a fact.
So, wait, you're saying that Diddy poisoned Jamie Foxx and that's how Jamie Foxx got sick?
Jamie Foxx reported this man to the FBI because of this. Facts.
Wow. Okay, and how did you hear about this? If you can tell me, or if you can't, that's all good. But you know what I'm saying, like, well, people are they're gonna want to know, you know what I'm saying, how this happened, or you know what I'm saying, what's the backstory to this?
But by the time this drop, this is gonna be in the stratosphere. It's gonna be in the ether by the time this drop. You could probably look it up right now. But by the time this interview drop, this is gonna be out in the ether for sure. These people poison people, bro. I've been poisoned 3 times. Why am I testing positive for cyanide? You feel me? Why am I getting why do I had pneumonia 3 times? So people like, man, why he breathe like that? Because I only got one lung. And then I had a car crash. I got one nostril permanently blocked. And I done had pneumonia 3 times. Somebody been trying to poison me. My brother got poisoned with me. The little lady I was bodyguarding, she got poisoned. Like, somebody is carrying on these antics. These is facts.
Is there any idea why Diddy would want to poison Jamie Foxx?
You get called to testify if you on camera and some of this footage and you want to make it a little bit easier for yourself. It's a way. It's ways in this industry people go about doing things. Just know I tested positive for cyanide 3 times after drinking some bottles in the club. Once you get hit with the cyanide, it turns into pneumonia. I had it 3 times. So, fact.
So I just want to make sure we're talking about what was it, a year or two ago or so, when Jamie Foxx got real sick and everybody said he had a stroke.
Yes.
We're talking about that, or we're talking about something different?
I'm talking about that.
Okay. Now, and you said that you've been, victim of having your, liquor poisoned. Like, what do you think that you did that made them want to poison you?
Bro, I didn't. If you ask anybody about me, they're gonna tell you I'm known for blowing the spot up. So, like, I've had altercations with people around him for doing strange things to people that I'm close with, and they do little sneaky stuff like that. You feel me? So I was kind of careful about some of the things I said, but now that I know that certain people off the street, the money is dried up. So now it's time to play ball.
So remember a lot of the stuff we read about dealing with the Bacchanalia and, those times during the Roman Empire. Okay. He said poisonings were, popular and connected with the Bacchanalia. Okay. And remember the people that tried to speak out against the things that were going on in the Bacchanalia. Remember, they were silenced. And it sounds a lot like what this brother is talking about. Okay, he said he's known for blowing up the spot. And that's why, there were attempts on his life by way of poisoning. And isn't it strange that one of the things, what did he say, cyanide, that was found in his system, it leads to pneumonia, which ironically is what Diddy's late ex-wife Kim Porter died of, pneumonia. Now, should we just simply put 2 and 2 together? There's something to think about, but again, there's a lot of curious things that's going on with Diddy and these white parties, and it's starting not really starting to, but it sounds very similar to what went on during what's known as the Bacchanalia. Okay? So now let's go back to the encyclopedia and let's finish this out. Okay? So it says the time of initiation lasted 10 days, during which a person was obligated to abstain from all sexual intercourse. And it says on the 10th, he took a solemn meal. Now watch this. And underwent a purification by water. Hey, didn't I say it was strange in that clip we saw with Diddy and Conan O'Brien, where he said at these parties you have to have water? I told you I was going to come back to that. Now, am I saying that that's what Diddy was talking about for sure? I'm not saying that for sure. It's just my critique of what he could have meant subliminally. Okay, but it's just awfully strange that he said you have to have water. And it's like, why? Okay. But he said they underwent a purification by water and was led into the sanctuary, Bacchanal. It says at first only women were initiated. See, going back to the video, remember? Conan asked Diddy, wouldn't it make more sense for it just to be women there and the one guy? Remember, I told y'all we was going to get to this, that originally only women participated in the Bacchanalia. Okay, so let's read that again. It says, at first, only women were initiated, and the orgies were celebrated every year during 3 days. It says matrons alternately performed the functions of priest. Remember, now you should understand why I showed y'all the painting. Okay, that was known as the priestess of the Bacchus. Okay, because there were women that performed the function of priest. Okay, it says but Pacula Ania, I probably butchered that, a companion matron pretending to act under the direct influence of Bacchus, changed the whole method of celebration. She admitted men to the initiation and transferred the solemnization, which had hitherto taken place during the daytime, to the night. Instead of 3 days in the year, she ordered that the Bacchanalia should be held during 5 days in every month. It was from the time that these orgies were carried on after this new plan that, according to the statements of an eyewitness, licentiousness and crimes of every description were committed. Now let's pause right here and let's look up this word licentiousness, because that's not your typical everyday word. Okay, then we're gonna come right back. Let's look that up real quick. Okay, so here we have the definition of the word licentiousness, and it reads, it says a throwing off of sexual restraint, lewd character or behavior. So when you see that word, when the eyewitness said that it was all manner of licentiousness, this is what they meant was going on during the Bacchanalia. It was a throwing off of sexual restraint, which is one of the accusations of what goes on in these white parties. Okay, let's look at the second definition. It says wanton disregard or transgression of laws, rules, or moral norms. Okay, let's read that again. I kind of butchered it. It says wanton disregard or transgression of laws, rules, or moral norms. Okay, And again, this is a lot of the stuff we hear about when dealing with these white parties. Okay? And not only that, when you look at that second definition, it's really American society in general. Okay? Really the first definition too. Is dealing with American society in general. Okay, but if you could see it on your just in everyday life, just imagine what they're doing behind closed doors in Hollywood at these white parties. Okay, but anyway, let's get back to the encyclopedia. Okay, so going back to where we left off at, it says, men as well as women indulge in the most unnatural appetites, and those who attempted to stop or to oppose such odious proceedings fell as victims. Are we not seeing that today? It says it was, as Livy says, a principle of the society to hold every ordinance of God and nature in contempt. You see that? We're seeing that today. And it's not just with these white parties. You're seeing it every single day in your everyday life. Okay, people in general, they hold every ordinance of God and nature in contempt. Now tell me I'm wrong, because most of these people are influenced by ancient Rome. Okay, just looking at this presidency should show you that that's true. Looking at these Democrats and how they're bugging out of their minds. And some of the reasons why they're bugging out of their minds is because they have a contempt of the ordinances of God. They really want the right to delete their children. Are you kidding me? But anyway, let's finish it out here. It says, men, as if seized by fits of madness and under great convulsions, gave oracles, and the matrons, dressed as Bacchus, with disheveled hair and burning torches in their hands, ran down the Tiber and plunged their torches into the water. Okay, I think we're going to stop reading it right there, but you pretty much get the point. Okay, everything we just read in this particular encyclopedia, it gave us deep insight on what was going on during the Bacchanalia. Okay, because the author took information from Livy, who was a Roman historian. He was a contemporary of that particular time. Okay, and you're reading about all these different things, and it's lining up with a lot of things we hear about these white parties and what's going on with Diddy today. So, again, like I always say, this is just my critique. I could be wrong. Okay? But anyway, this is going to conclude the 3-part series titled Bacchus, Bacchanalian Rites, White Parties on the left-hand side. Okay? So, we went through a lot. Okay, but the whole purpose of this series was to show that basically America is ancient Rome. Just the resurrection of ancient Rome. And like I've been saying throughout this entire series, do not marvel if you see a lot of those ancient practices of ancient Rome, don't be surprised if you see it today in America. Okay, and that's what we're seeing. Okay, because again, these white parties that's done in Hollywood, it just goes back to the rituals of different mystery school systems. One of which being the Bacchanalia. Okay, and we went through all this information showing the parallels, the similarities. Okay, now of course all of this is simply my critique. It's the way that I see it. I could very well be wrong. Okay, but I could very well be right too. Okay, but I'm gonna let y'all decide. All right. So with that, and as always, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh, which is the name of the Heavenly Father. And I do so by Hashem, which means in the name of Yahweh Shai, which is the name of the only begotten Son of the Heavenly Father, whom the world knows as Jesus Christ. And I want to thank all you brothers and sisters for tuning in. I hope this video series was informative and edifying. And until next time, Shalom, family.